Hello everyone and welcome to another Top 5 Records video. Today we get something new from Fleetwood Mac, namely the Mirage Tour 82 double vinyl. It's not only available on vinyl, it's also available on Spotify. Now, although this record and digital release contains some songs that were unreleased before, to a lot of the Fleetwood Mac fans, this might not be an entirely new release because in 1984 there was a VHS release and later I believe even a DVD release. So the footage of this may not be the video may be out there, but the audio, this release itself, is special because it contains Fleetwood Mac at a very interesting moment in time. This tour marks the last tour with Lindsey Buckingham before his return in 1997. He did stay with the band for the next studio album, but this is the final tour. So that's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic. What are we listening to? Well, first of all, this is a kind of show that it's great, it's big, it's dynamic. If you're not a Fleetwood Mac fan, this is the kind of show you can get into easily. And a lot of these songs are recognizable. They play a lot of hits. There's a good vibe and good energy going on, and it's an interesting performance. It's not a flawless performance though. Um, I'm gonna name some of the highlights and some of the moments which I was not so happy about. Um, well, the second song, "The Chain," I love that. I love that song, but the interesting thing is they played with the intro. It is it reminds you of the original version of the chain, which is good, it's nice, but it's not the same. It's interesting, it's new, it's fresh, and immediately noticeable is this show has great energy, and this song has an awesome guitar solo here. And "Don't Stop," you notice during "Don't Stop," the power is big. A lot of energy. Here and there, you can notice some flat notes in the vocal from Lindsey Buckingham, but overall, it's good. Then, and this is so bizarre to me, "Dreams," and I love that song. I think a lot of people love that song, but vocally, this isn't going well. As a matter of fact, I am always very easy with regards to vocals. I just did another video with about Bob Dylan today, so I'm used to listening to Bob Dylan today, just before Fleetwood Mac, and I'm pretty easy when somebody has a flat moment. I'm mostly in for the energy. I rarely have a situation which I think, oh no, now singing out of tune, singing flat is ruining a song. And this specific version of Dreams, no, it doesn't work because it's completely flat. And it goes from really below average to really bad at moments. I do not understand that if this record is it's a compilation. It's the best of several nights. Why put this version of Dreams on there? It's not a compliment. It's also for the flow of the show. I was really into the show, and then this, it's just um pity. Now there are a lot of highlights which are make it worthwhile though. For example, "Not That Funny" has a really awesome shredding guitar solo that I got really into. And it was one of those, for me, unexpected moments that you notice, oh yeah, now the guitar is really going into places. I am in for it. I'm really into it. Um, Another highlight for me is "Never Going Back Again." In the beginning of the forum show, because there's different shows on this record, you notice that Lindsey Buckingham may have tiny moments out of tune, which I believe have to do with either an overpresence of energy or a certain fatigue. I'm not an expert in his voice, but last year there was this release of the Rumors live tour, and I also noticed there it was at the end of the tour they were exhausted, and you can hear a little bit of exhaustion in his voice. I don't mind a little bit of exhaustion here during the show, during the forum show. It's not that he starts off with a out of tune or a bad evening for his voice. No, it's got to be with got to do with energy, because later on during Never Going Back Again, he nails it, and he nails it with a dynamic in a live sense that is really incredible. You hardly have vocalists who dare to go play with the volume, with the intensity, like he does in this performance. It's really staggering. I really love it. Then later on in the show, Tusk, I mean, love that song. Brilliantly done, full, powerful, awesome. It is one of those great moments going on here. Then, nearing the end, there is fatigue. I'm not sure how to say it otherwise. Perhaps there's something with the recording, but I think it's mostly something from the band. During Go Your Own Way and Blue Letter, it's messy. It just becomes messy, sloppy, not the way I've heard them before, or yeah, I really heard them play this better. Overall, this show, and you're listening to almost or about 2 hours of music. It's an interesting show. It's a good show with its flaws. Um, it gives you an interesting experience. Listening to it, I would have loved to be there. Good moment in time. Now, do I advise it? I think for any Fleetwood Mac fan, it's obvious this is a beautiful moment in time, and you should own it. If you're new to Fleetwood Mac and you're considering buying a live album, I'd say the live album from the 1980 tour is pretty good, and my personal favorite right now is the Rumors live release from last year, which even sounds a bit better, technically better, and I even prefer that moment because it's during Rumors, which is my favorite album. For a lot of people, it's the favorite Fleetwood Mac album, at least of the later the late 70s period. One thing I have to say is this record goes for about 50 to 55 bucks. And last year, when I ordered the Rumors Live, also a two-piece vinyl, that was 40 bucks. And I already thought, this is the edge for me. 40 bucks for a new vinyl. 40 bucks. I mean, it's not that you're going to try something out. And now raising it to 50, 55 for a good live album, but for just a live album, or even for a studio album, something new, this doesn't feel right. It makes collecting sort of really rich, honestly. So I listened to the digital version. I'm I'm stepping out of buying all the new stuff because these prices. So in that regard, I'd say if you're new to it, go for Rumors. It's cheaper and it's better. Nevertheless, good show. Uh, Overall, at most moments, good recording, interesting moment in time. So I'm curious, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.